Hello there, my Virgo Sun, Moon, Rising sign. Welcome to your What Do I Need read for this full moon to new moon. Next full moon is Tuesday the 12th. That is full moon in Taurus. The new moon in Sagittarius is on the 26th, and what's odd about it this time is that they both happen on a Tuesday. I don't notice that happening often. Usually it's not something I keep in my mind, but when I was, looking at my calendar, I was like, oh, that's odd. It's an exact 2-week cycle. It's supposed to be 2 weeks, but usually it's not on, starting and ending on the same day of the week. So there's probably something Mars-oriented there, Tuesday being ruled by the planet Mars. So let's have a look-see-dooksy. Keep in mind, we've also got a Mercury retrograde going on in Scorpio. We'll be backing up into Libra eventually. Not sure exactly when that happens. Maybe I should look at that, whatever. But most importantly, to the newbies watching the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short. President of DrawingTheCircle Productions, in business since 1998, professional witch, professional intuitive, and damn Skippy happy to be here today doing this work. I'm a YouTuber now, go fig, right? Changes. To my subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing, following along, helping me get to that 1,000 plus subscriber mark so I can do super live chat. Have no idea why the gods want me to do it. I'm like, okay, I'll keep asking. So please, if you're new to the channel, please do like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you'll know when I put out new stuff. Because I always am. This is what I do. That's what I mean. People are like, what do you mean professional witch, professional intuitive? It's like, this is my day job, my night job. All through the wheel of the year, this is what I do. Just doing it in a brand new form and very, very excited to do so. A couple of things before we dive in. If you are new to the channel, first off, this is a general read, right? This is like I'm reading Virgo. I am Virgo Sun, 4 planets, Virgo, second house, makes me a Leo rising. So I do try and keep myself out of these readings, but sometimes I can't help it because I'm a Pisces moon and it hits me like lightning, yeah? But being that it is a general read, not everything's going to resonate with everybody. So look, don't try and make it fit, Virgos. I know, we're overthinkers. Well, maybe it's this and maybe it's that, and go with your gut. We are ruled by the intestines. Go with your gut. If it clicks for you, it clicks for you. And if it doesn't, it's just not your reading. That's why I always do, at a minimum, Sun, Moon, Rising signs. For love reads, I will add in Venus. For Mercury retrograde, Mercury, you sort of get the idea, right? So go check your other signs. It's all little pieces of the puzzle to put it together for you. Different ways sometimes of looking at the same thing. Different angles, right? What else we got going on here? Oh, all the decks that I'm reading are in the description box at the bottom, because that's just easier to add those in there that way. But on your scroll down to that, I've got my books up on there. I wrote 2 books, Spell Ingredients from a Professional Witch, Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, which I was actually writing this time last year, long before I thought I was going to be doing this. My 3rd book is in process. It'll probably be coming out next year. That's The Path of True Love from a Professional Witch. What else? Oh, remember to breathe. Really important to remember to breathe as we go through this. Every time we inhale, whether we're aware of it or not, we're breathing in everything we need from spirit, chi, prana, life force, call it whatever you want. I've been saying Reiki, schmakey, eggs and bakey, right? Universal guided life force, whatever, you want to call it. On the inhale and on the exhale, we let go of whatever is ready to go physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. But we don't inhale everything we'll ever need all at once, nor do we let go of everything we need to let go of all at once. It is a process. Breath is life. And I find when I'm doing these readings, if I don't remember to consciously breathe, make the breath my partner in this, as it were, equal partner, that I go too fast and I speed up and I tense up because the energy gets high. So even my guides will say, breathe. I'm like, oh, instant relaxation, right? Instant shoulders drop, chakras clear, channels open. Let's get down to business, shall we? We're going to start with a Caroline Myss archetype card for you to determine what is the main soul power, the main soul contract that you are dealing with within yourself or with another. And it's interesting, these past few reads that I've done, I'm doing them backwards. I started with Pisces, because Pisces always goes last, and I'm a Pisces moon. So it's like, we're going to start with Pisces this time. Maybe I'll keep that as a trend, like this next one, this one I'll end with Aries and then start with Aries. Well, I don't know. We'll see what the guides tell me. But to keep that in mind, that this is going to be the main card. Every other card that I draw from the 5 other decks, so we're only doing 6 cards total for an overview. They will all be clarifiers of that, all right? So, breathe. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Oh, I love you too. Whew, 1 card in clarity for this Virgo collective sun, moon, rising. This full moon to new moon. Next, what is their dominant archetype? The soul power they are dealing with for this full moon to new moon next. Its name is Prince, and it is funky. The Prince archetype. I have the Prince archetype lifelong in Libra, but that's okay. We'll take it. The Prince archetype is part of the divine masculine family, and it is romantic, 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 romantic. Now, this may not be a romantic situation because a prince can be can take that romantic charm, Prince charming, into any situation. So let's talk about the alchemy of this, right? Mercury is retrograde in Scorpio and will be retrograding into Libra. Partnerships, marriage, all that kind of stuff. So being able to alchemize the lead into gold, the shadow into light on this one, whether this is you or someone or a situation that you are dealing with, this is sort of what the soul needs. No matter what the personality wants, no matter what the ego demands, this is what the soul needs for this full moon to new moon next. And let's keep in mind, this is waning moon, right? This is about letting go, transforming, particularly with that Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, and we're ruled by Mercury, so it's kind of hitting us in the gems a little bit more, the Geminis. Let's have a look-see-duck-see. The shadow attribute, using power for self-aggrandizement. Using power for self-aggrandizement, that's fucking toxic, and you know it is. It's using your power to make yourself larger than you are, to make yourself better than you are. It's essentially lying to yourself and everybody else. Changing the story, right? To use your power to push other people down. It is the sign of a narcissist. And let me tell you something. Everybody has narcissistic tendencies. Not everybody is a narcissistic personality disorder, overt, covert, malicious. There's a whole pantheon, a whole demonic pantheon. I now just call it the demon narcissus, right? Children are narcissistic. Teenagers are narcissistic, of course. Oh my God, I was a fucking nightmare. But if I didn't take that spiritual healing path, right, I still would be. In other words, sometimes people get hurt, they get wounded, and they get frozen in a certain place in their history that they never really move beyond, particularly emotionally, right? Or sometimes mentally as well, mentally, emotionally, the psychological realm. So just be aware of that. If this is you, really research the word aggrandizement. It's a beautiful word. That's a $20 word if ever I heard one. Aggrandizement, because it's usually at someone else's expense. If you're dealing with someone like this, you might want to do some research into narcissistic personality disorder, but remember, people can display narcissistic qualities, traits, behaviors without necessarily having the personality disorder, and that's the difference between whether therapy is necessary or not. And really, it's only supposed to be like 10 to 11% of the population, but that's a shit ton of people. Light attribute, right? Here's the gold you're shooting for. Romantic charm and potential for power. Potential for power, to always be reaching into that potential, but with a romantic charm. Now, let's be clear. I have the Prince in spades, and yes, I could have been an insane narcissist in this life were it not for the gods beating that shit out of me over the years, right? It's through our trials, our tribulations, our pains, our suffering, all of that stuff that we become what? humiliated, but a better word for it is humble. We take to humility. So look at like a real Prince Charming. What makes them charming is they're unassuming, is they are humble, is they are compassionate, and then that romantic charm can be brought into anywhere. Now, the funny thing with me being a gay male, and if you couldn't tell, honey, clock the jewelry and the eye makeup, it's just mascara and a little eyeliner. You need to see my eyes on YouTube. And no one should be shiny on YouTube. Get a little pressed powder. I'm using e.l.f. right now. I love it. Just their finishing powder is lovely. My Prince Charming energy works on women. Works on women. And I haven't had sex with a woman since the 80s. So, you know, it's tricky that way. It's tricky that way. But it really taught me to not abuse that power with men, because it doesn't seem to work on men. Although divine feminine men, I have to say, they get a little enchanted, as it were. Not my favorite word. Let's ask the Healing with the Angels Oracle here, Doreen Virtue, for clarity on this, shall we? Breathe. Oh, my angels, please. Yummy Urielite angels, please. One card in clarity for this Virgo collective sun, moon, rising sign. What's going on for them this full moon to new moon? Next, considering the Prince archetype, one card in clarity. Body care. Be taking care of yourself. And if that means physical protection, right? Guarding yourself, protecting yourself, self-care, you know, diet, exercise, you know the standards. Drink more water. Like, for instance, okay, I hooked up with a school teacher a couple of days ago, and we just made out. How is his head? It's okay. But school teacher. So I've got like a little bit of a sinus infection now. Like, damn it, kids are petri dishes with legs. I don't have kids. I have cats. So worth it. But, you know, I have to rest. Like, even once I felt this coming on last night, the guides were very clear. They're like, all right, do this last video and then nothing else. That's why I stopped, I think, at Sagittarius last night. And today they're like, do 2, rest, take a nap, do 2 more. So I'm doing them in chunks. In other words, that's how I have to take care of my body over this for this full moon to new moon next. There's something here about taking care of yourself physically. Is it about body care for a prince? If that's what's going on, maybe, maybe not. Let's see what the other cards have to say. So for now, just breathe. This is Daughters of the Moon Tarot. We're going to ask for the point of view of the goddesses, the collective goddesses. You could say the divine feminine in total. Maiden, Mother, Crone. Everybody's divine feminine energy all wrapped together in one. Sweet. White, red, and black package. Maiden, Mother, Crone. So let's do this. My goddesses. Please, one card in clarity for this Virgo collective. Sun, moon, rising sign. For this full moon to new moon next. Considering that the collective pantheons of which you are a part are talking about focus on the Prince archetype. The angels are talking about body care, very appropriate for a Virgo. So please, my goddesses, what say you? Sorrow. Sorrow, 4 of Cups, that there is an emotional purge time coming on, that though 3 have been spilled, there's still one behind you're not looking at. Now, look, I am a Pisces moon. I feel everybody's everything. To the point that when something comes out of nowhere, I'm like, what, is that me? Right? Like, what triggered that? And sometimes it's somebody in the area or something just going on in the collective. What's my job? How do I body care? Let's talk emotional body care. No matter what rises within me, I know that it's the child in my heart. There's a divine child in the heart, and around that divine child, which is eternal, that divine child is the seed of your higher self within your heart. It's really the truth of who you are. But around that is this fog, this smoke of pain and suffering and the stored memories and unresolved baggage, right? Emotional baggage. That right now we're all getting squished with that stuff because 5th dimensional awareness, imagine the crown chakra, right? Unity consciousness. It's incarnating, right? It's coming into us, into every chakra, into every cell. As a matter of fact, the body is already in the fifth dimension. All of nature is already anchored in the fifth dimension. We are purifying the third dimension, physical body. Fourth dimension, if you like, the heart, the throat, the third eye, the crown, the psychological zone. So we are being purged. We're being triggered on purpose by the divine. Why? Because everything that happens to us is here to help us from a fifth dimensional unity consciousness point of view. And if you want peace on earth, if you want children set free from cages, if you want everyone to have clean water, healthy food, it is about incarnating the fifth dimension. It's just how it is. Unity consciousness, because you could not bear to see someone else suffer or harm another. I am not Wiccan, but I do adopt the Wiccan ray because of quantum physics, all right? You want to bless the field, right? You would never be able to bear someone else's suffering. You would do what you could to help them, Virgo, right? So if you are sad right now, whatever the situation is, and I'm getting this very specific, like it's going to take a lot of strength, a lot of responsibility, a lot of insight, a lot of body care, the goddesses are saying here, to really get that. Maybe 2% of this is what I'm dealing with in this situation, but there's a bigger percentage of this of unprocessed wounds, traumas, stuffed emotions that need to come up and out, because that one cup behind you is saying there's still an opportunity here that you are not seeing to heal, to grow. And with that romantic charm, if this is a romantic situation, is there anything harder than romance in terms of romantic sadness? Sucks ass. I just cut someone out of my life that I was in love with for 20 years, never got it together, had real covert narcissistic tendencies. That's why it took so long. Overt narcissists, I'll hex your shit into the next dimension, whether you like it or not, right? Good at what I do, well trained. But covert, it like took me forever to figure it out. But then once I walked away, boom, clarity. Cried my eyes out, but realized I wasn't just crying about him. He was 2% like milk. It went all the way back to my father, right? I even had a conversation with my mom about it. She was like, oh yeah, if those are the parameters, your father was a definite narcissist. Covert in the outside world, overt behind closed doors, a real Jekyll and Hyde. So, so immense healing. So even though cried my fucking eyes out, couldn't wear mascara for a day, what I got out of that cup that was being offered to me, such wisdom, such healing, such truth, so worth it, yeah? Let's ask the gods now what's going on here. My gods, Dionysus in particular, who sits in the throne, solo rider of the throne of Virgo. Please, my God, my gods, any gods that want to clue in here, want to give us a hint. What's going on here? Yes, breathe. My gods, what's going on here for this Virgo collective? Sun, moon, rising, sign. For this full moon to new moon next. Considering we have going on here, we got the Prince archetype, body care, and the card Four of Cups, sorrow. Please, what say you, my gods? Ooh, 2 wands. This has been popping up a lot in these readings, these full moon to new moon reads. See, I'm not feeling like this is about me, even though I maybe I'm playing the prince in someone else's role game here. But this Two of Wands, you often hear it say indecision, but to me indecision is Two of Blades, right? Two of Cups, Two of Swords. That's what happens when you read 2 tarot decks with different terminology for the same element. This is, I don't know. This is about, okay, I've got this creative spark of the ace, but now where do I want to invest it? Do I want to do this, or do I want to do this? It's not, well, what do I think about that, and what do I think about that? So yes, a decision has to be made here eventually in order to move on to the 3, the 4, all the way through the rest of the cycle. But with this emotionality, it's water and fire that you gotta cry your eyes out. Like, don't try to avoid this. Love what rises. You want me to do this, my gods? Okay. So let's say you get triggered by something, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, you're in separation from somebody. Does not have to be romantic, whatever it is. Well, it's a good example though, right? And then you hear their name in a song on the radio, and now it looks like the song is making you feel something. It's not. The feeling is already inside of you. The song is not to blame for your unhappiness. That unhappiness is not just triggered maybe about the situation that you're dealing with, the person that the song reminds you of, but then it's also your emotional stuff, the unprocessed trauma from childhood, who knows, past lives, who cares, it's in there. But then it is also in the collective, that as one of us heals, all of us heals. That's why every time you do this process, you talk to the child, you go, oh honey, I'm so sorry, you're sad, you're triggered, oh, is this loss? Oh, sweetheart, I love you. I'm here. No matter what comes. This is what I say to my child every day. Honey, no matter what comes, no matter what goes. It was not easy cutting this guy out of my life, but I had to for my own sanity. It's like, it's okay. I'm so proud of you from walking away from that toxic situation, and it's okay it took you that long. I love you. Now, that's not to make the pain go away. That's to allow the pain to come up, to alchemize it from lead to gold. If you don't do that, you're going to use your power in unwise ways to make yourself look like you're this, you're that, you're amazing. There's a difference between grandeur and grandiosity. Grandeur is of the soul. It's our natural spirit, our soul, our natural light. Grandiosity is of the ego, right? And the ego is that cloud around the child. So this Two of Wands here, and oh, by the way, they're saying, by the way, once this storm passes, now there is a card in this deck called the Storm, but we're going to call this an emotional storm here. And notice the waves, the ebb and flow, the waxing and the waning. There is a sense of elation and clarity as you love yourself free. And don't forget the quantum paradigm. As you heal your heart, all hearts heal. We're all doing our part, so think about it. Those days where you can't get out of bed, if you're feeling it, you're healing it. Now just make it aware. Like make an intention. That's the word I was looking for. An intention to whatever this is. I'm being prepared for something new. I'm clearing out the old. My intention is to love what rises. That will make your decision, if this is an indecision of where to invest your creativity, your sexuality, your whatever element to fire, your intention will make that much clearer. Your eyes will be cleared, so to speak. And that's what tears are for, to clear our eyes. This one too. Let's ask the masters what this bitch is about, shall we? I'm sorry. They cut me lots of slack. My masters. The Ascended Masters are those who completed their highly individualized curriculums in the quantum game called life, humanity on planet Earth, reaching back through the dimensional spirals to assist us. So let's ask the masters, breathe. My masters, please, one card in clarity for this Virgo collective sun, moon, rising sign for this full moon to new moon next. Considering we have the Prince archetype, body care, sorrow, and the Two of Wands, please, can you give us a card of clarity for this Virgo archetype dealing with the Prince archetype for this full moon to new moon next? Naughty, 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 naughty. Now, have you done something you ought not do? Well, I'll tell you something. This is actually part of the luck suit. In this Chuck Spizzano love pack, baby, love baby, that's where it's at. Thank you, Fred Schneider. There's the problem suit, which is half the suit. That's sort of the lead. The three other suits in the deck are luck, this one, healing, and grace. So this is a lucky card. It's like that there's something lucky in all of this in terms of the naughtiness. That perhaps something new is coming for you here. But and I'm not getting a bad vibe off of this. I'm not getting like deception. It's like what you want might very well feel naughty. Might not be something that everybody in your tribe wants you to do. It's like breaking the rules, but it's something within your power to do. And I'm feeling something romantic sexual then, because naughty, right? Very the cowardly dog. Naughty. I like the feeling on this vibe. I'm sort of down with it, because what is more fun after crying your eyes out than just a little bit naughty? For example, yesterday I went to the little little store around the corner from me, took a little walk, and got myself a bag of Pepperidge Farm Nantuckets. I ate that fucker in one go. I don't eat sugar. That's how I still look like this shit at 51. But I was like, you know what? I should have known that a little... the body was like, okay, you don't do sugar. You need the carbohydrates now, right, to help kind of clear all this stuff out. I won't touch sugar again for a week. Although, do I have it on the table? Oh yeah. This is my honey with garlic. This shit's been in my fridge for years. Honey doesn't spoil, and garlic is antiviral, antibacterial. That is my penicillin. That and a little Dayquil goes a long way, don't you find? Yeah. Cool, part of that body care. But so that's the other sugar, and I put honey in my coffee, but raw, natural honey. Cool. Keeps the wrinkles off my face. I'm good with that. Shall we? Let's ask the higher selves of all involved using the Whispers of Love Oracle, which I love this card. Breathe. Love this deck. Okay, here we go. The higher selves of all involved. I guess my own included, considering I'm Virgo Sun. The higher selves of all involved, please, one card in clarity for this Virgo collective. Sun, Moon, Rising sign this full moon to new moon next. What say you, considering the collective pantheons of which you are a part are talking about the Prince archetype, alchemizing the shadow to light. The angels are talking body care, right? Perhaps a need, I'm hearing for touch, for connection. It's okay for a hug, right? To have intimacy that may or may not be sexual. But with that Prince, I'm sort of getting that. So that these emotions can come out. Sometimes we just need someone, we need our physical bodies supported in a way so that this sorrow can pass through us, this loss, right? Everybody has wounds of loss, but get that only 2% of it is what you're dealing with. In the outside world, the gods are talking about the Two of Wands. Yes, an indecision, but a preparation to make a decision, sort of getting yourself ready, getting yourself in preparation. And by the way, in this deck, that is Chiron, the Centaur Chiron, the wounded healer in the cave behind him. That's Jason of Jason and the Argonauts in front. Sort of like, well, do I go for this? Zeus told me to do this, but how do I prepare myself for that? Go for healing if necessary. Professional help. Pick up a self-help book. Watch some vids. Get some clarity. Readings are a really good place to start, but the reading's not going to heal you. You and the divine is going to heal you. And the masters are talking about naughtiness. So please, last card down. Oh, higher selves, here it is. What you got for us? My pussy with a rake, mom. The true love card. This love is a once in a lifetime love. Not thrilled, personally. Let's hope this is not about me. Kind of feels like it is. So let's put the pieces of the puzzles together. We've got the Prince archetype in the shadow, using power for self-aggrandizement, which is false, right? It's grandiosity rather than grandeur. There's something artificial about it. It's manipulation. Oh my goodness gracious. Prince charming, Prince not so charming. Light attribute. And remember, masculine or feminine does not matter. This is archetype. This is archetypal power. Light attribute, romantic charm, and potential for power. So there is immense potential for healthy romantic power here in this situation, for healing, for love, and apparently for true love. Let's add that one there. But what's needed right now? Body care. If there is something out of balance, bring it into balance. Take care of yourself. And it's funny because I got this upper respiratory the last time I make out with a teacher who works with kids. Fuck that. Sorrow. Love those emotions. It's part of the body care. True love is downloading into your system and clearing out all that old stuff so you become a clear vessel. Think about your nervous system that might still be holding on to past wounds. Oh my God, true love conquers all. But remember, The course of true love never did run smooth. Midsummer Night's Dream, iambic pentameter, William Shakespeare. He fucking knew. Why? Because he fucking went through it. That's why. So with that two of wands, well, I have to make this decision. But remember, you can have some fun along the way. This is not all about tweezing out every experience with a, a pair of tweezers and a magnifying glass. Oh, I have to heal this. As Virgos, we could do that. We'd be very detail-oriented. That there is a fun way of doing this. Not necessarily, nothing delinquent, nothing illegal, but that there's a feeling of naughty here that you'd be like, oh, well, nobody has to know that I'm healing this. Nobody has to know that I'm in pain. Let me heal this, because I mean, my God, if this was a client, I would pull so many more cards on this for clarifiers, and since this might be about me, I think I'm gonna once I click the camera off. But honey, true love is always worth it. The world needs true love. Go watch the True Lovers Collective vid I did. Oh my God, it was a week ago tomorrow, Sunday. The True Lovers Collective, that true love is what is needed on the planet right now, and particularly through a romantic sexual context, because how many people in this world right now are doing horrible things to horrible people, using their power in an unhealthy way for self-aggrandizement because of heartbreak over something romantic. When we're separated from those that we really are truly meant to be with, ask the twin flame soulmates, they'll fucking tell you. It's rough. So for you to be able to heal that, you're not just healing it for you, service-oriented Virgo, you are healing it for the collective. Well, holy crap, holy, what do you think of that? That's a mouthful, but that's a lot. That's a lot of power here, but it's saying that, the true love for the self, it begins there. Love what rises, it begins there. It will bring in somebody who can handle the voltage of true love in your life. And Lord knows that's the process I'm in. But also know that whatever the behavior is, whatever the situation was, if there is something really toxic, regardless of narcissistic, codependent, there's so much to learn in that area. Certainly do the research that you can do. Heal yourself of whatever your pattern is, because here's the thing. I am well aware that because I was entangled with so many narcissists going all the way back to my dad, that I got, oh my God, I have a touch of Stockholm Syndrome. In other words, you love your abuser, and don't kid yourself, it is abuse. But you know what? Try it again. Now that I've got that scent in my nose, I didn't even know there was such a thing as covert narcissism. Now that I've got the scent, I'm a kitty cat. Once I got your scent, fuck it, I will be able to spot you across a crowded room and avoid you like fuck. And I got the weapon jewelry for it. Okay, the magical totems. But you think you're going to get past Athena? Or, well, Dionysus might be like, go ahead, come on, try. Right? Whew, let me give you a blessing. Breathe. May the Virgo collective, sun, moon, rising signs be blessed with all that they need this full moon to new moon next, that the prince within them, or the prince that they are dealing with, can rise, can alchemize from lead to gold, move from shadow to light, that as they take care of their own bodies, allow the emotions to flow through them, loving what rises, to get that preparation necessary to make a decision, not just a choice, a life-changing decision that can be a little naughty, a little on the slide, just so that you get that the intention here is not about doing harm, but about healing, loving in a way that opens you up to true love. May they be blessed with all of this and more, to grow, to heal, to learn, to become the best that they can be, and fulfill their role in the divine plan, particularly the path of true love. You might want to check out your Path of True Love reading for the well-being of all. And so it is. I love you, my Virgo brothers and sisters. Please do like, subscribe, and share. Hit that notification bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. And wishing you the very best and the very blessed for this full moon to new moon next. But for now, hail, Virgo honor. Farewell, and blessed, blessed, blessed be.